Good, sunny, mild, humid, sticky, uncomfortable, with a few puffy cumulus nimbus clouds in the sky in the greater Roseville metropolitan area in central Illinois on this early June, early summer, spectacularly sunny, warm and sticky, 80 degrees today in Bloomington, Illinois. This is Vincenzo Gold Crypto Investing, where you come. That's right, you come. Like, subscribe, and share for a one-of-a-kind probability-based trading alert and company style and philosophy. You like, subscribe, and share for that one-of-a-kind probability. That's right. Trading alert and company philosophy, right? And this is a quick update on the Bitcoin SV. Yes, I am in a trade on Robinhood, so there are no fees. I've been playing this for about 30 hours, trying to play patiently this breakout that I'm thinking I can get based on the pattern. Yes, I know it's a bearish continuation pattern. Yes, I know day 10 in a probability-based way to break down. Yes, I know all that. But Vincenzo just had a feeling that this would pop eventually, and he's going to continue to wait and is willing to take a little bit of a loss, if need be, to try to get this quick 15 to 30% gain from my position that I entered right now on the breakout, right? I let it come out a little bit to try to limit my chance of a fake out, because a fake out is usually where real briefly then it tanks, but a fake out usually would have did that all in one motion, not over a day and a half to 2 days. So it's getting some resistance, as it should, by this overhead 200 and the green line, but as this underneath blue line continues to trend upward and this overhead 200 trades down and sideways, it's going to start to squeeze the price. And I still think I can get a nice pop. It might not get up here. The longer this delays, the more or less likely it is that it's going to get all the way up here, right? You can see that it's my ultimate target, quick target. But yes, this price is going to come down and collapse on itself. As soon as it gets up there, it will collapse. It's got heavy resistance at the 190s, just below the 196 level in the moving average, and then we'll clone one more. And the underneath major support, what day are we in? We're in the third. On the third is about 168. So yes, there is a big fall, but it could even, which I don't want it to, because then I'd be in a big hole real quick and I'd have to buy more, and I don't want to buy more. It could bounce and then come back up and retest and try. But I think it could try to fight its way through this moving average eventually, pop real quick, because then yes, it is coming down, and we do have big targets down low, below it, because this is a bearish continuation pattern. And if we pull in our perching tool, my industry exclusive and company made and soon to be YouTube famous, that's how you measure out of a bearish pattern, a bearish pennant. That's how you'd measure the target. But that would bring this target on this crash almost to this whole thing completely coming unglued in the end of this coin. So I think, yes, I could see this in the long run getting down, pull out my another industry exclusive and making YouTube famous drawing tool. I could eventually see this meeting its target in that 50 cents to $10 range, but I think it's got to come first and continue trading before it gets down there, right? So that's what I'm playing in Bitcoin SV. I'm not a financial advisor, nor do I play one on this radio network. That's just what I did. Saying what the fuck, trying to make something happen, limiting the losses though. So we'll keep you updated on that. We'll go zoom in real quick. You can see we had a big spike in volume on a pump, which is bullish. And then we had a crashing volume. See right here, just even in the 1 minute, we had a pump and pumping volume, bullish. Then we had crashing volume after pump and a down and sideways consolidation. That's actually very bullish in the 1 minute. And you would think this would be a target move, that this would break up, and then that would be your target move in your next leg up to try to fight into that $200 range. Now, if it did the same thing but it had a consolidation like that and up and sideways, I would have said that's very bearish and the price was going to come down. But in this consolidation, it's saying the sellers in a rounding fashion are being exhausted. The bears and the bulls, or the buyers, are starting to take over the market and the price is going to come up. That's what I think is going to happen in this coin. It could come down a little bit more before it does that, but I think this coin has to break up based on technical analysis and a probability-based set, right? Moving on to Zill, we had a nice pump. And you can see Zill had that pump, and pumping volume was bullish, but then after had an up and sideways consolidation with crashing price, often a sign the buyers or the bulls were being exhausted in a rounding top fashion, and the sellers or the bears are taking over the market and the price is going to come down. You see that? That was telegraphed that was going to come down. Bitcoin SV is the exact opposite, so it should come up, right? This coin, though, I think is going to start trading down to underneath support now that used to be underneath resistance, right? That's the 200-day moving average that we drew out for you. We can get rid of it now because the 200-day moving average is now into the future. So we're going to move these out. Here's your 200-day moving average in green, and it's going to be trending down that way over the next few days, and that's going to act as support and resistance, I believe, right now. We'll clear some of this out for you, clear this noise and malarkey. So that's what I think is going to go on in this. And our underneath target in Zill eventually will be about 3 cents. It's going to trade down that way, but you could, if some volume comes in, like we had a little candlestick there in a 3 hour, if you can get one more like that, you could bounce up to 19 cents before you roll over. That would be the least likely scenario, and the most likely is you start bouncing on and getting rejected by these overhead moving averages, and you trade your way down over the next week to 10 days, right? Digibyte, same thing. We had that pattern that we dissected for you, and we said you could come up. I believe Sunday night or Monday morning, we made this video in here and said over the next few days, you could fight your way up to 8 cents. That's why we drew this moving average for you. But the volume is still overall crashing. So if you got up to there, you're going to get rejected and you're eventually going to come back down. And a target, you can see we had that written down in there as where you could break out if you didn't break out up there. But a target that is going to be an underneath target once this comes down is going to be along this old underneath major, I deleted it. Old underneath major support, pulling out our perching tool or line tool with an arrow, company YouTube famous. Your old support down here is going to be where you get supported again when you crash. We'll make this a different color. See that? So when you come down, this is where you're going to get supported. And now this old rising channel, support and resistance meet there. So I'm going to say when you crash, your first major area of major support is going to be right in this area somewhere. When you get there, we're going to have that in this color just so you can see it. This is because there's intersecting multiple support and resistances here. And that leads me to believe this holds significance once this does break down. Come on, TradingView. And right in here, this is going to be your major underneath support, right? At 6.5 cents, and then you're going to start trading again. That's what I think is going on in Zill or DGB. Like, subscribe, and share more updates to come. I just got a truck.